Peter Rusborough takes a penalty for Coventry and scores.
Coventry Rugby, a club built on legacy, pride and passion. It's been nearly 40 years since they played in the top flight, but the dream has never left. Now, with a new energy on and off the pitch, belief is building again. They're closer than ever to making it reality. This is a story of ambition, resilience and a classic rugby underdog story.
We feel now that we've got the squad and the management and the rugby department to really push to compete with the teams at the bottom of that Premiership and give Coventry a Premiership side once again.
When I signed here 3 years ago, Alex made it very clear that it was part of a 3-year plan to get promoted within the third year. And this is our third year now, and whether we make that or we don't, we've given a good shot at doing it.
The momentum we've built here at Coventry has been brilliant over the last few years, and you'd like to think that could continue on that upward trajectory, and hopefully in 5 years you could be sat here and it's a Premiership club and you're playing in Europe as well, or something like that would be the dream. But with English rugby, who knows?
The dream is simple, to see Coventry Rugby back in the Premiership. It's a dream shared by players, coaches, fans and those who've dedicated years to this club. You can feel it in the changing rooms, on the training ground, in the stands. It's more than a goal, more than ambition. For Coventry, this is the dream.
Aspirations for the next 5 years. Not looking too far ahead, but look, we're all allowed to dream. The Premiership is where we all aspire to be. I think we're showing that we're able to compete with the best. We are lucky to have an executive chairman that has supported the club for decades, but there is a point now where in order for us to progress, we need to become sustainable, whether that be by commercial opportunities, match day revenue or non-rugby revenue. So that's a big goal of mine, that within 5 years we are able to be sustainable and push us to the next level.
Yeah, I'd love to see Coventry as a route to the Premiership and as an opportunity for teams to progress and do something different. I think English rugby's crying out for that promotion relegation, and the momentum we've built here at Coventry has been brilliant over the last few years, and you'd like to think that could continue on that upward trajectory, and hopefully in 5 years you could be sat here and it's a Premiership club and you're playing in Europe as well, or something like that would be the dream. But with English rugby, who knows?
We want to show what we can do and what we're capable of, and I think since the Premiership Cup campaign has been on now, this is the second year of it. We've had some good victories. We've also had some tough losses and some draws along the way, and each time we've played a Premiership experience, we've probably learned a lot about ourselves and a lot about ourselves as a group, to see where we are that year, and also to see how far off we are maybe, or in some cases how close we are to the league above.
Coventry Rugby means to me, personally, the fact that I've always wanted, still do want to see it thrive and grow. Firstly got involved mid-90s as a supporter, going Saturdays to watch the games at Carrington Road.
We put ourselves in that position to allow the club to apply for it. We'd gone unbeaten for the first 6 or 7 league games of the season. It shows that we aspire to be in that league above. I think there's a couple clubs in this league that are happy to be in this league, and since I've been at Coventry, and when I signed here 3 years ago, Alex made it very clear that it was part of a 3-year plan to get promoted within the third year. And this is our third year now, and whether we make that or we don't, we've given a good shot at doing it.
Being in a Premiership Cup that's regionalised with 2 fantastic clubs that have a brilliant history locally, Leicester and Northampton, also Nottingham from a Midlands point of view, having a healthy cup run, it just adds confidence to what we're doing, shows that we belong at an elite level, shows that there's a demand for rugby within the Midlands, but also gives the playing group confidence that actually, look, we can compete at these big stadiums, we can get results against teams where lots of people write us off against, there's a challenge whereby once that cup run finishes or you go back into the block of rugby championship fixtures, you've got to get back to the nitty gritty and grind out results that aren't at Welford Road or Franklin's Gardens.
I think the Leicester one, especially at Welford Road, was brilliant. I think we took loads of supporters over there, and there was over 15,000 there, and a real traditional old fixture in a local derby. And to come out and just show what we're capable of, I think it shocked a lot of people, but it didn't shock ourselves. We know what we're capable of. And then seeing this place full for the return fixture against Leicester and also Saints, it just shows the potential, and it makes you realise what a mad sporting city this is. Seeing 5,500 here, and I'm pretty sure if I was able to have 8,000 here, we would have done that as well. And they're the fixtures you want to be involved in, and it just shows, I think, the history of Coventry Rugby Club and those big clubs, that there's a massive appetite for people to see them games.
Good to have Premiership sides involved. Brings the crowds to the ground. The atmosphere is great. It's a challenge for the lads as well, and just shows that we are able to compete with Premiership sides.
Getting to the Premiership takes more than just winning games. It takes money, infrastructure and opportunity. Coventry have produced players good enough for the top level. Many have gone on to play in the Premiership. But still, Coventry keep pushing, keep climbing to break beyond the barrier.
In lots of other leagues and sports in the world, if you finish top of the league, rightly so, you have a chance at progressing to the next league above, or if there isn't anywhere higher, you of course win the title. But in the Championship and the Premiership in rugby, you have to send an application to the RFU to say we would like to be considered for promotion, which is fair enough. There's a double header playoff, so if we finish top of the Championship, we need to then do a 2-leg fixture against a team at the bottom of the Premiership. Now, if you win both of those, there's still barriers in terms of ground entry, capacity, exiting the ground, medical facilities, media facilities, all needs to be audited against what the Premiership deemed to be appropriate, with player welfare, of course.
As scarily as it is, we think we've got really good people here, but unfortunately with sport, I think you look at football, rugby, the best funded teams are the ones who tend to do that. So money's a massive obstacle, I think, is getting good investment in to really be able to kick on and compete. And also the RFU and Premier Rugby also, a lot of it is out of our control, and just trying to get promotion, you have to have 10,000, and they're restricted, so almost restricting it as much as they can, but hopefully that changes and we can find a way.
We put the application in to go into the Premiership, which from a rugby perspective we think we're very close to being ready. The other part of that is financial sustainability. A lot of clubs, and I've actually been at one where the club has gone out of business, and it's not a great environment to be in, maybe because of mismanagement. However, to have Premiership rugby back at Coventry is ultimately why we all turn up every day.
All times are tough really, trying to make the club sustainable, getting things right, the expense with everything. But one thing sticks out in my mind, 2009, with the previous owner who put the club into liquidation. So yeah, that was pretty heartbreaking. That had to be turned around. That took quite a while.
It's one of our biggest selling points as a club is, we like to think we've got probably one of the best rugby programmes around where we can develop people and players. So seeing, the Will Wands, the Will Riggs, Pet Pellegrini now getting man of the match in Super Rugby games is amazing, and we have to find these rough diamonds and polish them up, and if we can't go up, then the next best thing is that these players can kick on and do well in their career, and hopefully they've got really fond memories of Coventry. Wandy
was an incredible player when he was his work rate, and the way he conducted himself was a step above. When he was here, we always knew he was going to make that step up at some point. You see the players that have been here and you see what they are capable of and pushing in this league. It keeps you motivated to go down that route and sort of have your own stories. You kind of put it as your own story, but you also kind of want to show that you're also capable of that. You're also capable of that step up, and it's not just one day. There's plenty of players in this team that are probably capable of stepping up and doing a job.
We've lost 7 or 8 players to the Premiership over the last 3 years, which, for the Championship is unheard of, which shows that Alex and his team have got recruitment absolutely perfect.
Seeing something built quite organically this last few years is exciting, and I think the big thing is there's such good people working at the club. It's such a good working environment, and if we can continue doing that and pushing people on, then hopefully one day Coventry will be able to do it as well.
Talk only gets you so far. What matters is what happens out on the pitch. Against Premiership opposition, Coventry stepped up, challenging some of the best in the country and showing they have the potential to play at that level. Every tackle, every try, every minute, a statement. This is proof of potential. This is Coventry proving their worth.
First and foremost, it would be the win away at Leicester. It was, I think we played in front of 14,000 people that day. Welford Road is notoriously known for being probably one of the best Premiership grounds in terms of the fans that they bring. And I think the most highlighting point about that day is that we had a great start. The first half was probably the best first half I remember us playing in game of rugby since I've been here in 3 years, and there was probably a fair few hundred Cov supporters dotted around the stadium, but it felt like at times there was thousands. Like they made a good amount of noise. They silenced, and sometimes they were louder than what the less supporters were there.
Yeah, that win at Welford Road was pretty special, and hearing that Cov chant going round at full time, I think, so a really memorable moment from the Premiership Cup.
We currently have a squad with the budget that we have and the infrastructure that we have that we're able to compete with, firstly, one of the most decorated rugby clubs in the history of European rugby in Leicester. We're able to go to Welford Road and get a win, but also Northampton, the current Premiership champions, we're able to take them within inches of getting a favourable result at home.
The Saints game here on the very cold, wet, windy night, where we give ourselves a good account of ourselves against some highly experienced Premiership players, and also there's also some internationals that are thrown in there. It was two teams going at it in terrible conditions, and look, they finished strong, and that was that sort of Premiership experience that they're relying on, and that's why they're in the league above. So they finished strong.
Personally, I really enjoyed returning to Franklin's Gardens, a place. I made my Premiership debut playing for Northampton, so a fond memory of there, and it's been a while since I've returned there. It was nice to return as a coach, and you forget what a brilliant rugby city and stadium it is. So that was really good, and then just little things when you coach and you see little set plays and stuff you've worked on against better opposition come off. That's a really pleasing thing as well.
It was a weird one, the Saints away game. We did really, really well here at home, and maybe that's the home advantage in front of our fans and stuff like that. And then we went there and we reviewed it in a sense of we didn't take our chances, and then we just allowed them to score quite easy. But there was also periods of the game where we defended for 15 minutes straight. So when you get your shot, you've got to take it. And I think them days are the Leicester home and the Saints away. That really highlighted that. We did two successful games against Nottingham. It's always a tough one when you're pulled with teams who are also obviously playing the champ. We played Nottingham. We'll play Nottingham 4 times this year, and look, we beat them at their place, and here we had a very good game here in the cup run on a nice sunny day like it is today. We had a good confident win away. They've made a good account for themselves as well, and maybe their focus was more on the league table than it was the cup run, so we say. Whereas we had the target to essentially win both, so we went full ball for both things.
When I joined 4 years ago, there were an average crowd of about 1,800, with a couple of games a year that we'd expect 3,000 people to come. 4 years on from that, we're now introducing a whole new fan base and clientele to the club, where now we're delighted that our average crowds are 3,500. We've had 5,000 capacities at a couple of fixtures, and I think we're now proving that on the pitch, yes, the rugby fan has got a fantastic matchday experience showing exciting, free-flowing rugby, but off the pitch, commercially, we've now got a model where we've got 68 club sponsors. We're competing with Premiership clubs in terms of our non-rugby offering. The journey the club is on is extremely strong. We show no signs of stopping. We've got a lot of work to do, and we're not happy with staying still. The numbers are growing. our infrastructure is growing, and ultimately we're looking for people to join us on the journey to move us into the next level, whether that be Premiership Rugby or therefore an equivalent.
If Coventry reach the Premiership, my little mission in my brain is completed over the number of years I've worked here. Yeah, Coventry reaching the Premiership would be brilliant, mean everything to me.
It's a great club to be a part of. The fans and the media get behind us locally as well. We're forming a great bond with Coventry City football, and I think from both of us we're doing the city proud.